Hey, stop your sniveling. Why would I put a box on my head that says, stop your sniveling? Well, here's how that started. I'm Linda Schiller, Hannah. Welcome to Inner Kid Keto, segment 85. I'm recording this on the morning of April 18th, 2025. I am doing a daily video for a whole year about my journey into wholeness, recovery from the emotional aspects of overeating. The keto food plan helped me lose 40 pounds very effectively, very quickly, and actually very easily. But the feeling piece is a bigger challenge. So this is the backstory of Stop Your Sniveling. Oh, I'd say about 30 years ago, something like that. I moved from Virginia Beach, spent some time with my grandmother in Olympia, Washington, and ended up getting involved with a guy from Akron, Ohio, and decided to come out and move to this Ohio area. And he was kind enough to let me stay with him for a while. And Akron, Ohio is the founding location of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it was late spring. And I remember I arrived at his house on a Saturday night. Had driven across. And I had a dream that night. And in the dream was a very short woman with huge headphones on her ears coming down off a city bus. And I felt she was quite remarkable. And because I've been a Unity student for many years, the next morning I got up and said, Bill, I'm going to go to church. And I looked it up, and there was a Unity church in Cuyahoga Falls, which is an adjoining community to Akron. And I go to church, and I get in the pew, and I look back, and there's the little woman from my dream. She had on the headphones. She was a short little lady. Church hadn't started yet. And I turned around, and I said to her, "Good morning. I had a dream about you last night." And she smiled brightly and shook my hand, and she says, "I'm Mrs. Sieberling." And I said, "Well, I'm Linda Schiller." I didn't know yet how significant that was, but I had heard of Mrs. Sieberling because I know she had had some contact with the Edgar Casey Foundation, which I had been a part of for many years and been a speaker for, signed up as one of their readers, their tested psychics. So it was already an amazing encounter. In the area less than 24 hours, and I met Mrs. Sieberling. It was near Founders Day, which is the first weekend of June for the AA convention. And I really wanted to go to the convention. I was aware of it, heard about it. I had been in 12-step groups for years. Had attended AA in Mazatlan, Mexico at El Cid Resort, because it was the only English-speaking 12-step group in our community. I later started an ACOA group there, Adult Children of Alcoholics, attended Al-Anon. But meeting Mrs. Sieberling was significant. The more I learned about the history of AA, I recognized that Mrs. Sieberling actually introduced Dr. Bob to Bill at the gatehouse at Stan Hewitt Hall. Stan Hewitt It's a big mansion that was founded by the Sieberling family in Akron. It's beautiful. Many acres. They have a butterfly uh, pavilion, beautiful trails they light up at Christmas. They have plays, art events, music events. It's a wonderful addition to our local community. It is now in a public trust. But there's a gatehouse there, and that's where Bill, the stockbroker, was guided to go because he was spending the night in the Mayflower Hotel downtown Akron, and there was a sign that said something in the lobby of the Mayflower Hotel, if you need help with drinking or something, and he called that number, and that's where he met Dr. Bob at the gatehouse. And I got to meet the lady that introduced them. I get God bumps to this day thinking about it. It is such a magical, miraculous meeting. So I went to the AA convention, and they have meetings for Al-Anons and other people. It wasn't just for alcoholics. And I went to several of the meetings. And on Saturday night, they have a dance. And they also have a big meeting. The big meeting Saturday night is enormous. It's in this huge stadium, thousands of people in there. So I asked my local boyfriend, would you go to the dance with me? And he said, no, I don't want to go. And boy, did I cop an attitude. Well, I'm just going to go over there by myself anyway. And that was fine. He was fine with that. He stayed home. He didn't need to go to that meeting. And I was kind of pouting about it most of the afternoon, like, I wish he would go, I want to go dancing. I want him to go dancing with me. He's my boyfriend. Why wouldn't he go dancing with me? Anybody relate to the woe is me, poor me attitude? Never been that person, right? So I sat down in the big stadium waiting for people to gather. You know, it took 30, 40 minutes probably for everybody to get in and get seated. And I was sitting there with this poor me attitude, and a guy walked by with a t-shirt that said, "Stop Your Sniveling." Wiped it right off my face. I'll never forget it. It was like a sign from God. I even looked up sniveling, the meaning of it. And it's something about stop feeling sorry for yourself, pouting, crying. Some of you can probably relate to sniveling. I'm not saying we can't care for ourselves. In fact, 99% of what this is about is caring for yourself. But sometimes it's just cleaning up your attitude, putting on a happy face, shifting gears. I'm not a victim here. I'm blessed to be in this meeting with thousands of people. I don't remember what the speaker said, but I'll never forget the t-shirt. So that's why I put that on my head. Stop your sniveling. More stuff about Akron. The 90th convention for AA is coming up, and it's going to be the weekend of June 6th, 7th, and 8th here, 2025. If you buy in advance, it's $35 for the whole weekend. If you buy at the door, it's $45. Most of you can probably afford that. If you want to sign up, there's a website called foundersday.org, and you don't have to be an alcoholic to go. Anyone relating to the 12 steps will find it inspiring. They even now have a phone app, which you can get on the foundersday.org site. One of the blessings, if you do come to Akron, is you can go to Dr. Bob's house, the place where they had their first really long meeting, and it's got the history of AA. You can go have sit in the kitchen where they had their coffee breaks. They have a little gift store down in the basement. And they have a movie that tells about the miracles and the founding of AA. Now, say you never get to Akron, or this is an impossible thing. If you want to know more about the history of AA, there is a TV movie called My Name is Bill W. I would say if you have a feeling at all in your heart, you will probably tear up finding all the miracles in that story. My Name is Bill W. It's an excellent film. So why would I talk about all this when our theme is the feelings from weight loss? Because whether we're having sugar or alcohol or marijuana or we're sex addicts, anything that gives it, or buy high, because I'm a heavy duty shopper, buy high, anything that gives you a lift that's not internal, not clean, triggered by a substance, not right. Not good for you. It's usually addictive. And a lot of people who have weight issues are addicts, whether we admit it or not. We're addicted to the energy rush we get when we eat carbs, sugars, sweets, sodas. They're talking to me about having to do another thing on my heart, some kind of a thing on my heart valve, and I'm going, crap. I did some research on it, and one of the causes is to be a smoker, but I'm not. But secondhand smoke is an indicator for causing problems with this. So my parents were heavy smokers. My husband's a smoker. I've been around smoke all my life. A few years I wasn't. But the majority of my life I've been around secondhand smoke. That kind of gave me I just found this out last night. It's kind of a disturbing thought. It's too late for that. But I do need to take care of myself. Losing the weight was a huge, good step. And I'm not going to snivel about my situation. But I'm paying attention. And cigarettes are, of course, one of the most addictive substances in the world. And those guys put a lot of extra chemicals in there to make them even more addictive. Now, I happen to find this. It's called a chip. And they give you this if you've had 24 hours of sobriety. When you go to an AA meeting, if you've been in 24 hours without a drink, they give you a 24-hour chip. You get them for 1 month, 6 months, whatever, 3 months, year. My brother had one for 21 years. Pretty darn good. I got little Linda back here. Little Linda likes to show up to all our programs. This little toy I bought for myself last year before I went to the hospital for my pacemaker. And I carried it right into the surgical room with me because I was scared and my inner child was scared. I'd had open heart surgery at 5, and I remembered that the hospital was a traumatic place. And I reached out to my friend Erica and told her how scared I was. And she let me vent. She heard me. God bless Erica. She understood. It's okay to have sadness. It's okay to feel sad if you can't go to the dance or if you have to face surgery. It's okay to comfort yourself. It's okay to comfort little Linda or little Steve or little Paul or little Joe or little Mary. But we don't need to wear it every day with poor me, poor me, poor me. I just got gratitude that I was at that meeting and that I saw the sign, Stop Your Sniveling, and went home to my boyfriend with a new attitude. Grateful to have a place to stay, to launch my life in this area. Grateful to have a good friend, and a good friend with boundaries who could say, I don't want to go to that dance, and not feel guilty. He was a healthy person, still is. By the way, his name is Bill, and he's a healer. He does wonderful massage. If you're in the area and need his number, I'll hook you up. All right, that's all for today. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Thanks for joining Inner Kid Keto, number 85.